Good morning, everyone. It's such a beautiful day today. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor. My name is Tammy Maxine, and licensed Unity teacher Mariette Jones is doing a talk called With Friends Like That, Who Needs Enemies? Enjoy. Now I'd like to start with an opening prayer. May I, no matter what comes my way, be more loving, thoughtful, gentle, and courageous through my words and actions for the well-being of all. May every breath awaken every heart. May every step return all beings to safety. May every bite of food nourish all families. May every blink of my eyes return the earth to peace. May everything I hear be the sound of consciousness awakening. May everything I see reveal the growing pains of the divine's highest destiny emerging into the beautiful form of human. May every interaction I have reveal the truth of my being, and even when I encounter those who don't treat me the way I intend to be, I can just remember their actions don't have to symbolize anything about me. Instead, their actions symbolize how tremendous of a healing journey they may be on and may not even know it. When I encounter beings like that, I can use it as an opportunity to set another intention and simply say, may I be for myself and them whatever appears missing in this encounter. And then instantly, I am no longer lacking or needing someone else to change. I can always intend to become, for myself and others, what seems missing in the encounters I have for the well-being of all as I am now. This prayer is from Matt Kahn. Next, I'd like to introduce our first guest singer, Cosy Sheridan. And this song was hand-chosen by our speaker, Mariette. And this song is called My Fence and My Neighbor. Enjoy.
When the neighbors first moved in, I'm the one who built the fence. I'm the kind who can hold out her hand if I know my line of defense. We are living in interesting times. The sky falls every day, and I used to think my fence could make the world go away. But this morning all I know is I want to fall down and cry. This morning I don't need my fence, I need my neighbor on the other side. I've seen my neighbor with her children in the morning, driving them to school. I've seen her play a game in the driveway. She knows how to set and bend a rule. And I don't know that much about her, but I've dropped in and we've talked at her store. And each time I come away wanting to know a little bit more. And this morning all I know is I want to fall down and cry. This morning I don't need my fence, I need my neighbor on the other side. I'm not the first one to a protest, and I'm the last one with a sign, and I mostly want to be left in peace to make my pretty designs. And I don't know from trade agreements, I don't understand all I hear, but I wasn't certain when the neighbors moved in. Now I am glad they are here, 'cause this morning all I know is I wanna fall down and cry. This morning I don't need my fence, I need my neighbor on the other side.
We want to thank Cosy Sheridan for letting us use her music and her song to inspire us today. I know that she was thrilled when Mariette asked her if she could use it. Now I'm going to turn it over to Mariette, where she's going to share her talk with us and a meditation and closing prayer.
Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor. I am Mariette Jones, and I'm so glad to have you all here with me today. Wasn't that an amazing song by Cosy Sheridan? It really resonated with me. I know I have felt that very way of feeling fearful and shy. And I'm sure all of us have resonated with that at some point in our life. So I really like how she brings that conversation forward in her music. The talk title of today's talk might have grabbed your attention too. And sometimes dark humor can be the kind that we need to lighten up about the way we show up. And so, yeah, with friends like that, who needs enemies? So haven't we all been exasperated or frustrated with even our very best friends or partners and thought, wow, that's what I would expect from an enemy. I don't understand why I'm being treated this way. I would never treat you that way. Except until they come forward with, wait, what's going on? Like, I feel like you're treating me like an enemy. Well, you know, this has been handed down for generations. This saying has been around for a long time, and I heard it as a kid. And guess what? 2,000 years ago, the guy called Jesus was talking about it. And he was like, you know, we gotta bless our enemies. Don't curse them. But you know, he understood about the oneness of us all, and that what we do to somebody else, boomerangs, right? We're doing it to us. So it's like, if you want to help yourself, you're going to need to bless those that, yeah, drive you crazy. So this is a pretty outlandish proposition and a difficult one for us for our egos to wrap our heads around. Like, our egos are like, I don't know about that. This person drives me crazy. So yeah, it's an inconvenient truth, as they say. And so let's dig in. So I'm going to focus on the way that enemy images in our minds are a survival strategy. And you know, it really is fear that keeps us from understanding what's going on with the other person, because now we're about protecting ourselves. We've moved into that protective strategy. And the enemy image is the one that we use. That person doesn't care about me. So learning, understanding, and trust is a lifelong journey, a maturing process we all are invited to partake in. You know what? That's what we need to do to live life to the full. So have you ever heard of Marshall Rosenberg? He wrote Nonviolent Communication, and he made great headway in bringing a way to communicate from the heart with I statements. And Marshall Rosenberg made great headway in helping people who were officially enemies, sworn enemies for so long. For example, Israel and Palestine, he helped groups of people from each country come to a place of understanding with each other by really hearing the other and speaking their own truth with nonviolent communication. Marshall shares his own struggle when he was first learning this. He's like, it wasn't easy for me at first, of course. One day I was having a disagreement with my eldest son, and he said something, and I reacted. I got angry, and then he said something else, and I got angry again. And here I am, I'm trying to just find out what's happening inside of me. Why am I reacting this way? And I keep getting hooked with what he's saying and how he's saying it. And I can't hear my own thought processes. Why am I reacting? And so therefore I can't hear what he's really saying underneath these words and this attitude. So he just took his time, and he's looking at his own reactions. And then his son says, "Daddy, my friends are outside. They're waiting for me. You're taking so long to talk." And he said, you know what I can say quickly right now? I can say, "Do it my way, or else I'll," what did he say? Let me tell you what I can say quickly. "Do it my way, or I'll kick your butt." That's what he said to his son. And his son said, "Daddy, okay, I get it. Take your time. Take your time, Daddy." So that story really demonstrated to me of how important it is to get still and see what's going on. Allow ourselves to feel our feelings, see why we're reacting, look at our own unmet needs, and then tap into the unmet needs of the person that we're communicating with. So haven't we all been in that place where the knee-jerk reaction is to just force somebody into our way of thinking so that we don't have to do the work? Without the work, however, we can't grow, and we can't become that truly unconditional loving person in relationship. And that, my friend, living unconditionally loving in our relationship is what leads to life to the full. So we do need to take our time to move out of reactionary survival brain and ask the deeper, relevant questions. Another person who really helped me look at what's underneath the words and attitude of another person and myself is Brene Brown's work, The Stormy First Draft, which is just writing it all out, writing out all the angry feelings, and then tapping into the learning questions once we get our feelings out. Another example of reactionary thinking is something I heard about. It was a company and it was a union, and they were talking and they were bargaining, but talks had broken down and they were like, "It's your fault. You don't care. That person is so aggressive," and all these accusations flying back and forth. So the facilitator was called in to help these people get back to the table. And he had a strategy. He said, you know what, just go off to your own rooms. And listen, this is what I want you to do. Just make a list of your own values. You know, make a list of the values about working here. What is it that you really care about? So both teams went off and did their list. And when they were reconvened, they were asked to share with each other. And they were totally astounded, as you might surmise, that they were actually very, very similar. Things like integrity in their work, teamwork, productivity, like they both cared about the same thing. And this helped them drop their doubts and get back to the bargaining table. They had dropped their enemy images. Reverend David has mentioned more than once that we see the world not as it is, but as we are. And I want to say that's true. And we don't see other folks the way they are. We see them as we are. So, you know, we have that filter from our experience, which is completely unique from anybody else's experience. And it makes us unique, and we see the world uniquely. Same for the other person. So that large dose of grace is very needed for ourselves. And we need to give that to the other person so that we can get on the same playing field and have some fun together in relationship. So deciding to heal our mindset and evolve into a freer version of ourselves allows us to see each other anew. We can let go of the very idea of enemy, because guess what? We don't need it anymore. We can learn how to speak our unmet needs in an honest way, using I statements, using compassionate communication. And Marshall teaches us how. So I would highly recommend his book if you want to grow in this area. So have you considered then that enemy is really only a thought that we create? So here's an interesting list of enemy thoughts for your consideration. And this is obtained from Marshall Rosenberg again. She does not care. He's aggressive. They are out to get me. She's really smart. He's better than me. I screwed up. I am great. He is crazy. Ike Lassiter explains Rosenberg's findings this way. These statements, what they do is they put yourself or the other person into a static box that is labeled. And that imprisons the person, whether it's you or the other person, in a certain way of acting. So this dehumanizes yourself or the other person, and they tend also to act exactly the way you're thinking they're going to act. So by dehumanizing, I mean that at any time we label anyone in a static way, we limit their full humanity. We're seeing them the way we are thinking, the way we are. And then we tend to interact with them out of this diminished idea of who they are. As I think about that, I think how extremely sad, that we do this. I think we can do better. We can learn when we know better, we can do better. We can learn new ways of acting and showing up when we learn why we're doing what it is we're doing and have that compassion with ourselves and others. So to demonstrate this idea, there's an example I found, or I thought of. If you go into a meeting expecting a hostile reaction, your body language will be minimally, without you even being aware of, giving little micro movements that tip people off that you're expecting a hostile response. And yes, we know in unity, law of mind action. That's what you're going to create. We're very powerful people, powerful creators, for better or for worse. So again, the idea behind the enemy image process is that if I'm having a judgment, it is a tragic expression of unmet need. Why tragic? Because you're not going to get what you want. So I have another example for you from my life. Me and my husband are on separate or opposite schedules. Right now he's on it in more ways than one. We work on separate schedules, we sleep on separate schedules, and we eat on separate schedules. Hey, we can work this out. And the eating part, the other day I made my dinner. He's intermittent fasting because he's on a program for himself. And I came into the living area of our home with my plate of food for dinner, and I had a choice right there because I saw that he was on his phone, and he's just like, he has this game that he loves on his phone, and he was engrossed in it. And I had a choice right there where I could create an enemy image or not. I could say to myself, tell the story to myself that, he's ignoring you. He doesn't even, he wants to do something. He was, nice. He would like spend time with me, or what? And the story goes on. Or I can stop the action and I can say to myself, I'm going to request my need. Hey, hon, I would love to have your company as I have my dinner. Would you care to join me, or, would that work for you right now? And there it is, the request is made. And there's his dignity is intact, and he gets to respond freely the way he wants to. And he can voice his need. Actually, I just need some time just chilling out, I'll take my game and go into my room or something like this. Or yeah, I would love to spend some time with you. Of course, I want to share dinner with or be with you as you enjoy your dinner. And anyway, we can even go from there and work it out even with finer detail. So that just gets the conversation started. And that's the important part is even, another strategy that Marshall talks about is guessing about the other person's need. And so I could also have said, as I approach with my dinner, hey, do you need some time just chilling out on your own, guessing his own unmet need? As I, barge into his space. And then he can say like, yes or no, actually, no, I'm fine, like I want to chill out with you. Or yeah, I do. So it doesn't matter if you get the guess wrong, because it's showing that you're concerned and you're being kind and you're thinking about the other person. What is it that you need right now? So that's the beauty of allowing yourself to guess the other person's needs. The problem is that we're so much in our heads so much of the time that we don't express. We use these passive aggressive ways of being. So it's about the work. It's about reaching in and say, no, I'm not going to communicate in ways that are unhealthy. Yes, I am going to communicate in ways that are healthy and promote life for me and for my beloved. So the Course in Miracles talks about a miracle being a shift in our thinking. Isn't that exactly what we're talking about? We're creating miracles here. When we let go of enemy thoughts and feelings and embrace our truth, We create an endless stream of miracles in our everyday lives. That's exciting. The miracle of inner peace, the miracle of true friendship, where each person can speak what they mean and mean what they say, and they can listen and ask questions and be curious about the other person's process. It's an invitation. The miracle of strong relationships, the miracle of an amazing community we can build. You see how these are building blocks. And then finally, to a new world order. So the word frenemy can cease to exist. We know what to do. All we need to do is let go of our enemy images. I remember learning when I was a child in grade 1 in religion class that, I didn't have to like every single person, but I did need to love them. I always thought about that. It always struck me. And I had a question. I was a fearful person. What if you were afraid of the person? And that was my challenge, overcoming my fear. A lot of enemy images come from being fearful, because again, we go into that self-protective mode. So over the years, growing and working this process, I have found the courage to speak my truth, even with people that scare me. I speak my unmet needs, and I practice silent empathy as best as I can for my frenemy, for those I love, for those I make out to be my enemy, for everyone. I am moving into the spacious zone of unconditional love, and I'm beginning to tap into what Jesus meant when he said, live life to the full. Now, I ain't even close to perfect, but it's exciting because I'm starting to get a taste of what it could be like to love unconditionally and live life to the full. I'm able now to move into a space where I don't necessarily like their behavior, but I love them. I can separate the person from the behavior. Have you found yourself being able to do that as well? And then always remember the fact that our sister, our brother is our mirror. When I practice love for those that I do not like, the way opens up for me to forgive myself when I act in ways that I do not like. I'm sure you've experienced the hardest person to forgive is often yourself. I know I have. So again, Jesus taught, do not curse your enemy. Do not curse your enemy, but bless her or him. He knew that we are one. And so he practiced the way of unconditional love. And the invitation is there for us to follow. So visualization is another tool that I'd like to mention before I wrap up. And I found myself practicing visualization with, okay, so what would I do? Just in my own mind, what would I do if somebody said something that hooked me or triggered me or, made me afraid or made me angry? What would I do? And I visualized just taking a breath, checking in with myself, taking my time, like Marshall did, and then speaking and exploring words that are compassionate and exploring what the other person is going through at that time. What are their feelings? What are their needs? So having contemplated on this message today, now would be an excellent time to take another step to loving our enemy. Let's move into a forgiveness meditation. So just taking a nice deep breath. And another deep breath. And one more. And if you wish to, you can close your eyes. You don't have to. And just do a body scan, beginning anywhere you want to. And as you breathe, notice where the tension resides in your body. So breathe into this area of your body with great empathy, releasing all that would bind you. Is there resentment stored in your body? It's safe to let it go now because you realize you don't need it anymore. Let the light of empathy shine from your heart on this little rock of resentment. And let the warmth of unconditional love from within you dissolve it. Breathing deeply into your solar plexus. Is there an image that comes up for you? Or a word? Let us go into the silence. And bring this image, this word. Or if there's nothing, we'll bring the not knowing into the silence now. Coming back to the now, this time, this space. We realign the step that is ours to take, what is ours to do. And we feel gratitude filling our being, knowing that our power is within. Our answers are within. We will work with the wisdom messages from our inner self. We heal ourselves with forgiveness. Amen. And so it is. So I would also recommend something that worked for me is after a meditation or a contemplation to work with a journal, writing, listen to what's going on within you, write it out, and have a conversation with yourself. So that is my talk for today. Blessings to you all. Peace.
Thank you so much, Mariette, for that talk. It really helped me reflect, and I really enjoyed that you used a couple of really good teachers, Marshall Rosenberg, Brene Brown, and ACIM teachings. These are all really good nuggets of information and excellent ways of being, learning new ways about yourself. I did take a couple of notes that I wanted to share. I feel like it's really important we learn how to communicate from a very compassionate place and seeing ourselves in others. I loved the quote, "We can do better. We want to do better." And that an enemy is only a thought. So after the talk, as always, we would like you to join us for conversations with the minister at noon, just after service. You can go to our website for connection and instructions. And today's talk is with Mariette Jones, and it'll be a Q&A continuation about her talk. We hope you join us. Now for our next inspirational song, I'd like to give a special thanks to StoweGood for the use of their music video. This is a beautiful version of the Lord's Prayer. They've called it Kingdom of Heaven, and it's where a YouTube video where they're sharing their song and musical gift. Enjoy.
O God, from whom the breath of life comes, who fills all heaven and earth, may your light shine within us,
We want to thank all of you who continue to support Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor. Your time and generous donations of tithes and love offerings mean the world to us, especially during these uncertain times. We appreciate your continued support so that we can continue to provide our programs and services. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. At Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor, we graciously accept your time, effort, and tithes lovingly. Here are ways that you can financially support us. By e-transfer or PayPal, you can send it to unitycenterwindsor@gmail.com. Or on our website, you can click the blue donate button at the top, and that will lead you to Canada Helps, which is a safe, secure site to make a one-time or reoccurring donation using a credit or debit card. Or you can send a check or money order to our office. For further information, visit our website at www.unityofwindsor.org. Again, thank you and bless you for your loving and generous support. You are very important to us. And here at Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor, we are always exploring different ways to provide more online services, classes, and opportunities to meet virtually. For information about all of our upcoming classes and events, they can be found at our website, www.unityofwindsor.org. Or if you'd like to receive our weekly newsletter, please contact us and we will add you to our email list. As we come near to the end of today's service, I want to thank you again for joining us today. Before we close with a short prayer of gratitude and our prayer for protection, I would like to share with you our vision, mission, and statement of being. Our vision are the things that we think about or we plan for our future or how we imagine it to be. Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our mission is how we go out into the world and share unity. Our mission is we inspire and empower spiritual growth to awaken us and transform the world. And our statement of being is I like to say is our personal responsibility. So this statement of being is this: I am a dynamic center of the Christ light, mighty to unfold my good and radiate that good to all. So now let's open our hearts and minds in gratitude as we close by speaking out loud or silently to ourselves our love offering prayer, followed by the prayer of protection. Our offering blessing is this: divine love in me and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. Our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and I am divine. Once again, we want to thank Mariette Jones for her talk today. We also want to give thanks to our musicians today, Cosy, Sheridan, StoweGood, and Mike Karloff. Have a wonderful week, everyone.